Should have been gone a while ago.
I definitely should have been gone. You know, he played in Chicago. You know, I'm from Chicago. He was washed up then. He stole money from the Bulls. Just arm robbed them with that pistol. They just gave him some money to come here and do nothing. Nothing. But shout out to him. I ain't gonna knock the hustle. You know.
Was not expecting that commentary.
It's my man. That's my man though. I've been said it. I'm a realist.
He said that's your man.
Man, I can't knock him. You know what I'm saying? He from the city. You know what I'm saying? But hold on. Pictures came out that he's supporting his 11-year-old son being gay.
Oh yes, they went to Pride.
Oh my God. We got, you know what? I'm not going to go there right now. That's a whole nother topic that's going to take another hour. But, come on, man. Come on, D-Wade. Come on, y'all.
What are you saying?
Come on, man. Let's stop
Great
it.
great father, Dwayne Wade.
Let's stop
great
this.
Stepmother, Gabrielle.
Stop
Good
this.
job
Stop
for
this.
supporting child.
Can you say it again? Supporting what?
Your child.
Okay. Now that we got that out the way. You have a child who hasn't even developed the sensibility and the any type of mental capacity to really be involved in sexuality whatsoever. So how can you support something? Somebody put it on Facebook, and I'm just gonna put it like this here. Somebody was like, when they shared it, they was like, man, what if this was your son and he said this and the other? And the guy was like, you good? Don't hang up on me now.
No, I had another FaceTime coming through.
And they said, what would be your response if this your son? And the guy had the perfect response.
What did he say?
Before you try, you know what? Try some pussy.
Who said that?
Well, it was like comment in the comment thread. People was giving, some educated things or, and saying this and the other. But just to put it this way.
That's the problem. That is the problem. People are always going toward sex.
What?
It's not always about sex. That 13-year-old is probably not thinking about sex.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me stop you there. This goes to a bigger question. What is the definition of homosexuality?
Being attracted to a
No.
attracted to the opposite sex or feeling that you are.
No. It's not homosexuality.
So what is your definition?
It's not what is my definition. The definition of homosexuality is being involved sexually with the same sex. That's
He to call himself a homosexual.
huh?
The child call himself a homosexual.
What's being gay? Gay is another term for homosexuality. Or are you happy?
You and whoever else need to ask that person what is their definition of who they are. These are labels that others have given to these people. So it's not what the dictionary says. It's not what we say, how we define it. How do they define who they are? They are individuals. You can't put a blanket statement on individuals. So the question needs to be posed to the individual. Who are you? You're more than just a homosexual. You're more than just gay. Who are you? These are terms that we have put into the dictionary or developed in society to label a group of people.
So what would you define a heterosexual? If you talk to people who are heterosexuals, which is the opposite of a homosexual, and you ask 100 people and they say they're heterosexuals, the definition of somebody being straight, which is the opposite of gay, would be like, nah, I sleep with the opposite sex. That's the definition of it. To define yourself as gay and limit to that based on your feelings. It's going to be an arbitrary answer on 100 people who say they gay just because they feel in a certain way. It's not definitive. It's just how you feel. And having a feeling is opposite of defining yourself. Emotions is arbitrary and people feel a different way different days. But to have a definitive label and to associate yourself with a definitive title means that you are engaging in something that defines that. So if you are...
That is not necessarily true. And I would think that children who are put in the gay category are not necessarily having sex or engaging in sexual activities. What they are saying is, I don't feel that I am, or that I was assigned the correct gender.
That is, listen, when people go down those roads, that's something right there where they draw a line in the sand and where they have to, like, I won't put that on a child. I will put it on somebody who has more sense than that. I will put that on an adult. That would have to be. Hold on. Let me talk on what you just said about they're going to assign the right gender. To say that basically is you saying God makes a mistake, and God don't make a mistake. When you say that that's just like a tiger waking up and said I'm supposed to be a lion and starts roaring. So when you say that, that's when I'm like, okay, hands off. I'm not going to argue with you anymore. Either you believe in God or you don't. But if you believe in God and you say, oh, I was assigned a different thing, you saying that God made a mistake. And God doesn't make mistakes. And that's just not, that's my opinion based on my experience and belief. And that's when going on when saying that everything happens for a reason and the whole universe and the energy that surrounds it, that nothing is coincidental or accidental. So when people say that, it's just like they are expressing, once again, an arbitrary thought based on emotion, on what they feel. And there's nothing definitive about that. So you wake up and you say, oh, I feel a certain way based on what, okay.
For some people, it's not just feelings, it's also hormonal.
How so?
Because there is an imbalance for several different reasons why there could be an imbalance. And so because they actually have a penis, hormonally they could feel like a young girl or a woman.
Once again, you're going off the word feeling, emotion. Feelings,
I'm not saying the emotional feelings, I'm talking about hormonal feelings.
Right. I mean, but what you feel inside will be based off whatever your desire is made to be doing. That's a feeling. So if you feel like a young girl, it has to be defined by something. Do you feel like playing with dolls?
Hormones.
Huh?
Hormones.
But your hormones is a feeling, though. You can suppress.
And chromosome, which is all science and biology.
Science sometimes is opposite of spirituality and what truth is. Science is something defined.
Science is real.
Huh?
Science is real.
Science
biology is real.
I understand that, but how can they define it though? They can go in there and say it's an imbalance.
Do we need to define it? People are just people, and why can't they live whatever life they want to live?
That's true. Now that part I'm not going to disagree with. I'm not going to disagree with you can do what the hell you want to do. That part there is, you get no argument from me. What I'm arguing is that at a certain point, you're not has the mental capacity and capability to define it and say you a certain way when you only a certain age. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's certain, as people
but
from...
People say that they knew from a kid that they were different and they felt different. And
so
they
what?
wanted to wear, if they were assigned a penis and they wanted to wear a dress.
You're a cross-dresser. You're not gay.
And that they were attracted to, the same sex people are saying that they've known that since they were little kids.
If
that's not being taught in the household, then you think that they're just making that choice.
What if you hypothetically, what if you a boy and you only surrounded by women? You know what I'm saying?
You will have feminine tendencies.
No, listen. And not talking about women who may raise you, but like to a point where you can only sleep with women. You're not going to be attracted to men there's none around. Same with somebody being in prison. They only
You're attracted to men that's not around. If your daddy and your granddad.
But if they not around, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you just around women, you know what I'm saying? You know, you just around women. I mean,
that statement, I don't understand that statement.
Well, flip it on the other side. Let me flip it.
What are you saying?
I'm saying flip it on the other side of a dude locked up. You know, and he's around men. He's around men, and it's more of a probability that he may sleep with the same sex if he around men for 25 years, or he's raised in that environment. You know, it's not hormonal. It's your society and what you choose to do, and based on, you know, different things. So I had this argument with a lot of people. I had an argument, not an argument, but a debate with this sister, and she was talking about her daughter who was in high school, and she said the same thing. Yeah, I been knew she was gay, and she with this little girl and all this and the other. But then a month later, she said, "Oh, she liking on this little boy now." The girl don't know what she likes. She 14, 15 years old. One minute she's, you know, people watching these different programs, and they're around a society that is pushing a gay agenda. When you have the new mayor of our city with her acceptance speech get up on the podium and she outright just kisses a woman, come on, man. It's like subconsciously you see this and it's not abnormal anymore. And it's a gay agenda that's going on. It's being pushed through science, through entertainment, through politics. So scientists are pushing an agenda because it's in connection to a society that, you know, where people are running it who has that agenda. That's basically what's going on. And people.
Well, people could say that you're pushing a Christian agenda.
It's not based on religion whatsoever.
I'm just saying that it could not be based on science either. That science is pushing this. So, you know, but people differ on both ends of the spectrum.
No, it's based on society. I mean, it's emotion versus logic. It's
versus logic.
Yes, emotion. I want you to know, emotional devoids you of logic. To be emotional means you are devoid of logic. It's the opposite of logic and being rational. So whenever you're emotional and make emotional decisions, it's usually not logical decisions. It's just the opposite of it. So when you make logical decisions, it's not based on emotion. It's two different waves of the brain. With just snap out and off emotional, you're not thinking things through. So, you know, that's why I say emotion versus logic. It's, you know, when you make a decision, it's emotion